Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. Today we're going to work on Jeannie's design, and this is called the Modern Chevron Waves. And this is a really cool concept where you use granny squares to establish your waves prior to doing the waves. So what we're going to do is that we're going to make your squares. So you can make her Afghan any size that you want to. So all you just have to do is just make your granny squares and attach them as you go, and then once you're satisfied with that, then you begin the wave concept. So today's video I'm going to show you how to do one of her squares, and then I'm going to show you how to attach to one of her squares, and then you can go as big as you need to go, and then I'm going to show you how she moves up in this concept. And again, you can see that she moved down as well. So let's talk a little bit about that first. So in this particular concept, what we have is that you can see that Jeannie had the original started, and then she went up all the way to the other side just like this, and then what she did is that she turned it upside down and continued this same format on the other side of this in order to have it finished. You can place these anywhere in the Afghan that you wish. If you want them in the halfway point, that's completely up to you. So what determines the height of these? Well, that's into the square itself. Let's show you that in a second. So here are two egg squares of Jeannie's existing example. So I'm going to add a third one and show you how to build one. And then what happens with these is that the final revolution you go to attach. So in the outside here it says to chain 3 when you do the corners on this particular round. So what you have to just do is chain 1, slip stitch to the neighbor, and then chain 1, and then continue along on the same square. So you come around and then you'll attach it. So they're not actually sewn together, they're attached directly to each other in the last round. So in her particular example, you can stop at any point of this. So the height of the chevron is based on these squares. So the height is here to here. So if you wanted to make it smaller, you can do so. You can just go like down to a nice small size like this. You'll just have to add more to it, and you'll have smaller chevrons in it. So that's the nice thing. Then what she did is that she started one side, and then she just went back and forth all the way up over the couch, and then once she was satisfied with that, she turned it upside down and then started once again on this side, and then just finished it off with a thicker, more border on the bottom of it. So the size of your squares determine the size of your chevron. So without further ado, I'm going to use a size I 5.5mm crochet hook in order to play today. I'm going to show you how to build one of her squares. I'm going to show you how to attach it, and then I'll show you how she goes back and forth on that as well. So let's build one of Jeannie's granny squares. So we're going to start off with a slip knot, and we're going to insert our hook in a size I 5.5mm crochet hook. We're going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I want you to insert your hook into the beginning chain to form a ring. So just going in, pull through and through, and the center is right there, and I want you to keep that straggler around the outside of it in order to keep that in a position. Let's start off with round number 1. To begin, we're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and then into the center ring I want you to double crochet 2 more times. So whenever you turn a corner, when it's in double crochet format, it's only going to be chaining a 1 in her pattern, and then you come back to the center of the ring again and put in 3 more double crochet. Technically that usually never works, but because of the way that this is designed, it totally works well. As you can see, it sat flat on the table. So then once you get your next 3 in, chain 1 and 3 more double crochet into the center. And you're turning a corner, so you're only going to chain 1 and 3 more double crochet in there. So you'll have a total of 4 sides of your granny square, which is obviously what makes it square, is 4 sides. So you can see that you have 1 side, 2 side, 3 side, and 4. So to finish this off, you're going to chain 1 and attach it to the top of the first chain 3, and that was your round number 1. So there you go. So let's move on to round number 2. To start off this round, when we go to move from a double crochet to the next round, you're going to slip stitch across the next 2. So slip stitch across, and you're ready to begin. So in the first beginning, this chain 1 space is where we're going to start, and we're going to single crochet into that space, chain 3, and then single crochet back into that same space. So that's your corner, your new corner right there. You're gonna chain 3 and just jump to the next corner space, as you see. So just jump over the 3 and just single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet into that same space again. There's another corner. Now chain 3, Okay, and then just jump over here, single crochet, chain 3, and then single crochet. The wonderful thing about this round, every time you do it, it's always chaining a 3 regardless if it's a corner or in the middle of a space. So chain 3, go into the next corner, go into the next corner, single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet, and we're coming around to where we had started. So chain up 3 and then just attach it to the beginning single crochet that you had started with. So now you've just gone all the way around just like that. So let's begin round number 3. So let's begin your next round. So in the chain 3 space, which is next because you're attached to the first single crochet, I want you to slip stitch first, and now you're into that first chain 3 space, which is a corner, and I want you to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and double crochet 2 more times. Now I want you to only chain 1 because you're doing a double crochet round, and then into that same space I want you to double crochet 3 more times. So every time you hit a corner, it's always gonna be 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet when you're doing this type of round. So what we're gonna do is that you're just gonna lift up, and this is a chain 3 space in the row below. You're not gonna chain 1 in between these groups at all. You're just gonna put in 3 more double crochets right into that chain 3 space. And now your corner happens to be next. So in the corners it's always gonna be, do you remember what it is? It's 3 double crochet, chain 1, and 3 double crochet. So every other round is just like this as we do, and the other round, and the rounds in between is just like what you saw here. So just come to the next chain 3 space and just fill it in with a 3 double crochet. And then here's a chain 3 space. It's on the corner, so it's 3 double crochet, chain 1, and 3 double crochet. And you keep doing this same configuration all the way around. Okay, so just come to the next chain 3 space, fill it in. So it's like almost a round of solid double crochets really. Here's another corner. So the corners are always 3 double crochet, chain 1, and 3 double crochet. And then you're coming around. This is the last chain 3 space available to you. So let's fill this in with 3 double crochet. And then just join it to the top of the first chain 3 that you started with. So every other round is just like what you're gonna see. So let's turn back to the original sample because I want to show you something from that point. So right now we're still in the very beginning stages, just like you see. I want you to count the number of rows this is, or number of rounds. So you can see I have 1, and I'm counting by the double crochet. So I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 4 rounds of double crochet solid, and then the final round is the ending of the chain 3 space. So right where we are right now is that we have 1 done and 2 of the double crochets. I still have the chain 3 space to add, but what you want to do is that you want to match it to this. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds of what appears to be double crochet solids, and then you have it, the next round is a chain 3 space, and it matters. So what I'm gonna do is I'll get you started one more time in a 1 round, and then I want you to get it to this size if you're matching Jeannie's pattern. You can stop at any point in this tutorial as long as that you finish with the chain 3 space at this point. So you need to get a chain 3 space that is your final round regardless of what size you can do that on. So if I do a chain 3 space one more time around here, I can stop, and these squares can be the final size if I wish. That's completely up to you. So let's start another round. So right where we are is not where we should be, so we need to slip stitch 2 over. So just like this will be how you grow it up every time. So now you've done that, here is your corner exact. So what you want to do is single crochet into that corner, chain 3, and single crochet into there. So what you have to do is that, see how these are separated? So these 3 are in this slot, these 3 are in this slot, and so on. So you want to go in between the slots where we're gonna go. So chain up 3, and just go right in between the two groups of 3 in single crochet, and then chain 3, go right in between the next group of 3s, and then chain 3, and now your corner happens to be next. So it's gonna be 1 single crochet, chain 3, and 1 single crochet, and you just continue to go around. So chain up 3, okay, and look for your groups of 3s. So you see 1 there, there's 1 there, and 1 there. Just go into between the first group, and then chain 3, and so on. So what I want you to do is that I want you to get your squares as big enough to continue. You know how to do that at this particular point. Just continue to grow. So you're gonna come all the way around, and then each one of these chain 3 spaces you're gonna fill them in with double crochets. Remember, the corners are 3 double crochets, chain 1, 3 double crochet, and so on. So what I want you to do is that I want you to get it as big as the originals that we have here. If you want to do that, if you want to be a little smaller, you can do so as well. And then what I'm gonna do is that I'll get you to the final round, and I'll show you how to attach them together as you go. So right now I'm coming on the final round that we have, and I've just started it. And what I want to do is that I need to either attach this section here to either here, here, or here. Doesn't matter which, really. The instructions can be varied. It all depends on your mood swing, I guess. So you're just gonna continue along, and the trick is that in the corner you want to attach it as you go, so you don't have to sew in afterwards. So we're just continuing to chain 3, and I'm gonna come right into the corner space. So usually in the corners I have been chaining 3 and then single crochet back into the same space. So you're only gonna chain 1, and then you're going to do this with the right side facing up, so it's the good side facing up, and you're going to insert the hook into the corner. So make sure that if you have another one attached, it's in the other corner here. Just don't go in the wrong direction. Wouldn't be your first time I've done that. And then you're just gonna attach it with the slip stitch. So just going up underneath, attaching it, chain 1, and then come back into the original square you're working with in single crochet. And then this is now gonna be permanently attached to you. So you just put it out of the way, and then just continue to finish your square off just as you normally have. Okay, so just chaining up 3 and just going in between your groups of 3 double crochets, and you're gonna come all the way around, and then once you come all the way around you're just gonna fasten off, and I'll see you there in just a moment. So once you get all the way back around, you're just gonna finish it off like you would but any other round. Just attach it to the first single crochet, and this will be the final round that attaches to the other space. So if you want to continue along, you can make more squares to get the width that you need. Just lay down these once they're all put together, and you can determine if you've got the proper width or not. It doesn't matter on how many squares go together in order to form this kind of configuration when it comes to your crochet project. So just weave in your ends, and then as soon as you've done that, just get rid of your ends, and then we're gonna move on next on showing you how to create the look of going up and down in the particular chevrons in order to make it happen. So we've got to make sure that we keep an eye on the right sides facing up as you're going to work on this project as well. So let's continue and move around along, and we're gonna go up and down next. So at this point of the tutorial you have your amount of squares that you want to go. So I only have 3 just for demonstration purposes. So the goal is that I want to start on one side, and I'm looking at the right side of the project, so it's the good side, and you want to go up and then back down, and right where it's attached then you're gonna go back up and then back down. So I'm gonna call these the top of the mountains and these are the valleys, just as an explanation. So what we have to do is that we have to look at actually where we are in the project and just demonstrate the same stitches as we go through it. So here's a picture that Jeannie has provided us, and this here is the square that you see, and this is now the rows that work its way up. So right as you can see is that we ended on the round that has the chain 3 spaces that you see. Okay, those are there. And so when we go to start our first row, we're gonna start off with the 3 double crochets that are in each of the chain 3 spaces like we had before. The trick is that we start off the corner slightly different in order to keep the going straight up. And then the next round, or the next row, is going to be the one with the single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet between the groups. So we're gonna maintain what you already know. So there's gonna be one row of this, one row of that, and then we return to this and that and this and that, and keep on going to the height that you want. So the trick is that you have to get your edges to be off right, but you also have to get your middle sections right too. So let's take a look at a different photo. So here's a blown up photo of Jeannie's thing, and what you have here is that you have the groups of 3. So here is your squares. So you have your 3 double crochet, your 3 double crochet, and right where they attach, so they're attached right here, the first gapping space on both sides is gonna be 1 double crochet. The next 2 are together, so it's gonna go into this one and then this one and then 1 double crochet, and then you work yourself back up the other side with just 3 double crochets in each. So what happens is that these spaces here change as you go all the way up. So the next time that we create this space, it's gonna be in a slightly different location. It'll be higher up, but you want to watch for that. So let's begin to get started on the next rows, and if you want to use Karen cakes and all that jazz, if you don't want to change your colors as often, it's completely up to you. She has the color breakdown in the pattern if you wish to follow exactly what she's done. So I mentioned at the top of the tutorial, so we're gonna start up and we're gonna work our way going straight up. So what happens is that she went up all the way over the couch, and then she turned this over and then started the other side, going the other side just for a little section in order to have a little border. That you can do the same instruction for both, it doesn't matter. So you just have to commit, and if you want to make this halfway through the Afghan, it's up to you too. So you're gonna go right to the first corner. So just look at where the first corner space is and go right in, and you're going to slip stitch it. So just pull through and through, and I want you to chain 3, and it counts as a double crochet, and into the same space I want you to double crochet one more time. So that's how you're gonna handle your edges, just like that. So what you want to do is lay that straggler down, and then just jump to the next chain 3 space and put in 3 double crochet. So just like you had done before when you were working across the squares, is that each one of the chain 3 spaces all had 3 double crochets in, and you're gonna continue that all the way until you get to the top of the mountain right here. So the top of the mountain is just like you were turning a regular square, because you are, and what we're gonna do is that I'll get you there in just a moment. So just put in 3 double crochets into each chain 3 space, and I'll see you up there in just a moment. So my next one is now the chain 3 space right in the corner. So you're gonna do what you already know, is that you're gonna put in 3 double crochets first, and because it's a corner and because you're doing double crochet, it's only chain 1, and then coming into the same one 3 more double crochets, and just start going down the other side of your square. So it's just like you're doing a square. So you're gonna come all the way down, and what we're gonna do is that I'm gonna have you stop in the space before the join. So stop right here, and what we're gonna do is that we're gonna put these 2 spaces together as we come down and then back up the other side. So just continue all the way across now to that particular area and put in 3 double crochets into each space, and I'll see you there in just a moment. So I'm coming all the way across, and my next space is right here, and then the space after that is the corner. That's a join. So what I want to do in this space here is that I want you to put 1 double crochet by itself. So now the next one is gonna be 2 together, so it's gonna be with this space here, and then you're gonna jump to the next space. So here's where they're joined, so you're moving up 1 space. So let's do 2 together. So wrap the hook and going into the first space, pull through 2 and hold, and then go into the next space that's available here. Wrap the hook in, pull through 2 and hold, and now you have 3 loops on your hook. Pull through all 3. So now those 2 together is spanning into this space and to this space at the same time, and then just do 1 double crochet in this space here to equalize it on the other side. So now you're gonna go up just like you had been before. So each chain 3 space is gonna have 3 double crochets, and then on the top of the corner you're gonna put 3 double crochet, chain 1, and then 3 double crochet, and you're gonna work your way back down again into the space before the join. Make sure that the right sides are facing up, and then again it's 1 double crochet, and then the next one's 2 together with using this one and this empty one, and then 1 double crochet, and then continue up. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna get you to the end of this row. So what I'm gonna do is fast forward now, and I'll show you how to finish off the row on the other side once you get all the way there. So if you need to see how to do this particular step right here, just reverse the video and just follow along with that again. So continue along. I'll see you at the end of this row. So I'm working my way across just like I showed you, up and down the mountains, and depending on how many squares you have, it determines your up and down motions. So what I'm doing is that I'm just putting in my 3 double crochets in each one of the chain 3 spaces, but what I'm watching for is the final spaces that are available to me as far as finishing it off. So I see that I have a chain 3 as the corner, and I have 1 more left here, so I'm gonna finish in that last one here with 3, and then I'm gonna finish the last corner with just 2 double crochets only. So Jeannie has us actually changing our pattern right at the very end. So what I want to do here is that so Jeannie has us finishing it off just like so, and then she gets rid of the yarn and brings off a different color. What makes this Afghan really quite pretty is that if you do change colors in between, it kind of really does a beautiful separate vibe when it comes to looking at it from a artistic point of view. Again, that's completely up to you and what you want to do. You don't have to change your colors at all. So what we're gonna do is that I'm gonna turn my work and we're gonna get ready, and I'm gonna show you how to do the next round, which our next row, which repeats us doing these chain 3 spaces, as you already know. So let's begin our next row. So we're just gonna create a slip knot to begin. If you didn't want to finish off the color, all you just have to do is that you'd be on the hook, and then you just have to slip stitch to the space in between the group of 3 and the 2. So right where we're going to join is right in between the space. So it's like what you've already done with the square. Just join it with the slip knot, stitch, chain 1, and then single crochet into the same spot. And what I'm gonna just do is that you've already done this on the square. You're gonna chain 3 and then just go in between the next group of 3s that you see. So just go right there. See how it's kind of separated out anyway, and then chain 3 and then the next group, in between the next group, and so on. So chain 3. So what do you think you're gonna do at the top of the mountain? Well, it's gonna be the same thing as just turning a regular corner, right? So just chain 3, keep on going in between the space. So in the top of the mountains, you're still gonna maintain as if you were turning a regular corner. 1, 2, 3, and then chain 3, and then right in the actual corner itself is that you're going to put in a single crochet, chain 3. I've got 2 yarn balls attaching together, that's why a knot came through, and then just single crochet into the same one. And now you're gonna come down the mountain. So let's go down the mountain. You're gonna chain up 3 and just keep working between the spaces. So it's kind of what you already know, right? So the only difference really is you're not going around a square. And I think if I recall, Jeannie actually did this particular project in no time at all, because it really is that easy to do. So what you want to do is that you want to look for the one space that is before the 2 here and after the 2 here. So you want to look for this space and this space in order to play. So to do that, you're gonna chain up 3 and you're gonna go into that final space and pull through. And then what you want to just do is that you don't want to hold it, you don't want to finish that, you want to go into this next space, going into that one, pull through, and then pull through all 3 loops. And so that just brought everything together. So when you came across, you're gonna put single crochet 2 together for this space and that space, and then you carry on. So chain up 3 and then just keep on going up. Okay, do you see how that worked? It's not hard, right? So just chain 3, single crochet this space and this space together as one, and then chain up 3 and keep on going. So what I want you to do is keep going up and down along the side. Just back up the video if you need to see that again, and then I'll see you at the end of this row. So I'm making my way to the end of the round, or end of the row, and all we just got to do is pay attention to where we're going to stop. So remember, we're kind of always working on an angle as we go up and down, so we have to pay attention to exactly where we're going to stop. So I'm just chaining my 3s in between. So you can see that I have 2 more spaces left. So this group of 3 and then this one between the group of 3 and 2. So what I want to do is that chain 3, I want to finish off in the one that's in between the group of 2 and 3, and then that's it. So just single crochet, and if you want to get rid of this color, now's the time to do it. Weave in your ends, and that's where you're gonna stop. So you're thinking to yourself, is that really right? Well, remember that you're not thinking about these squares looking like this, you're thinking about it from this point of view, and that it should go straight up like this. So let's carry on with your next color, and I'll show you that one more time, and then that's it for today's tutorial on being able to do this kind of concept. And then if you want to do the same with the other side, just turn it over and just repeat the steps that you've already seen. So let's turn our work and continue up to what we already know. So you can see it's really coming in quite nicely here. So we're gonna continue then with the next color. and we're gonna create a slip knot. So where we begin is right in the chain 3 space that is on the edge. Okay, so what I would do, lay that down over top and then get that stuck underneath. So go right into the chain 3 space, and that's where you're gonna start. So just attach and then chain 3 counts as a double crochet, and then double crochet 2 more times into that same space. Okay, and then all you're just gonna do is what you already know. Then in each chain 3 space you are going to be able to put in 3 double crochet. So what's gonna happen at the top one? Well, it's just like what you already know of 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet to turn that corner. So what I'll do is I'll see it there. Actually, you know what, just continue along here. I'm blazing along pretty quickly here. So it's kind of what we already know within the squares itself. So I know some people may just email me on this part and say you're going too fast. It's just 3 double crochets into each chain 3 space. Just like that. So in the corner it's gonna be 3 double crochet, then chain 1 and then 3 double crochet, and then you can safely turn that corner and you're gonna work your way back down to the other side. So as we come all the way back down, then what's gonna happen is that this space here, okay, and this space here are gonna come together. So it'll be 1 double crochet, and then the next double crochet 2 together will be in this space, and then there'll be 1 double crochet on this side. I'll show you how that's done anyway. So just put in 3 double crochets into each one of the chain 3 spaces coming down the side of the mountain. So I'm now in between the 2 mountains. It's the valley, and you're gonna put in 1 double crochet first, and then double crochet 2 together. So it'll be this space and this space over here. So wrap, going in, pull through 2 and hold it, then wrap, going into the next space, pull through 2 and hold it. You have 3 loops on the hook, pull through all 3. So those 2 together just became to 1 there, and then 1 double crochet on the other side, and then work your way up the other side. Just 3 double crochets in each chain 3 space. So do that every time you hit to a valley, just like so. So this is really how you do this particular pattern. You can see that it's a really neat idea, and it's really quite clean looking as well. And if you struggle with the particular chevron ideas, starting with the granny squares is definitely the way to go. So oh yeah, just before I let you go, when you go to start your next round, as you come all the way back, your first one is right into this space here. Okay, so you're making sure you're always kind of stepping back into the space that separates things. So your next one then will join here, chain 1, single crochet into the same one, and then start your chain 3 as you go along. So make sure that it will do that to keep yourself going straight up just like so, and it will look really quite awesome at the same time. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as yarnspirations.com. We'll see you again real soon. Bye bye.